want to say something. 'Cause I don't really never talk about that tool stuff. But I noticed that the tools are being used against each other. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all some advice out there. I can't say for these tests. I'm not talking about the test. But healing is the key. Don't heal everything at one time. Heal something one thing after the next. Start with your internal. Start with the way you gossip about it. If you gossip, start with that. Start working on how to transmute that energy. That's pretty difficult. And it'll take a little time. But you should start seeing a change in your energy. The reason why I'm saying this is because it's like some root chakra fights between, in other words, ribs. It's like there's some fights between y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all something out there, man. I know who was supposed to come, and I know that you probably around here. But man, you so secretive and you got so much going on, and then you got pregnant. It's like you pushing yourself back. You holding yourself back with all these curricular activities you got going on. So you gotta heal, cleanse yourself. That ain't really, maybe might not even really necessarily be healing, but you gonna have to clean up all that. You got a lot going on. Now I'm gonna show y'all how I know this to work. When me and my flame met each other, she was not the one. like she was not the one to clean up, period. She told me that. We talked about it, we talked calm about it, we didn't argue about it, and we got an agreement on it, and we just agreed that we were going in two different directions. That was it. But we agreed on how it would work. We both knew it would probably work like that. And I went on here, and before we actually separated, I went on here and started healing in front of her. And she seen it, she knew it would work. She knew it would work. And the more I started healing, the more the demons that she was holding on to couldn't deal with it. So we went our separate ways. We're just going down two different paths of life, that's it. But we know and we agreed on that's probably what it would take to get through all these tests. Cause I see things keep on repeating themselves. It's still doing it. I'm telling you, when you're at something like this, you gotta heal. When something like this keep going, for me, I'm already waiting on something. So for me, it's different. But if it's seeming like that for y'all, then all you gotta do, maybe it's not Satan, maybe it's God. Maybe it's God trying to get you to get something, understand something. Because I know who was supposed to come. I know. And I think you're around here somewhere. But these, whatever y'all games y'all playing, you done prolonged it. What happened was you had a good idea, but you didn't realize that you can't play with God for so long. That's what messed a lot of people up. And mostly that I seen mess up in that department with women. You know, women, and it was typical because you think, you know, women are kind of spoiled, you know. Men spoil women, period. And I guess automatically y'all assume God was gonna spoil you. But and God give us all a little window of time to heal and do things right. But one thing none of us can do is play with God. None of us can play with God. And it's like whatever this was doing, like I said, it was attacking the light anyway. It was attacking the light. So you don't want to go and prolong it for so long. And that's, for me, that's what was causing all of the problems. So, and who is Bear? Somebody out there named Bear. And you really, your nickname is Bear. Your nickname is Bear. And you something else. But anyway, and some of y'all done descended. Let's just be real about it. Somebody done descended. is somebody that I at least expect to descend. I think she descended. I don't know for sure, but I think she has. You gotta be careful out there, I told you, but I bet you one thing though, if it's who I think it is, I bet you weeping somewhere, I bet you upset, and I bet whatever you descended for, you ready to get rid of it, and you feel like it's too late, if that's what happened. If that's what happened. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, because I sent a message earlier, and they said, you know, the Astro get upset with me if I give credit to the wrong people. Even if I don't put it out, even if I say, hey, you know, maybe I'm wrong, it don't matter. They tend to get into me. I ain't saying I gave credit to the wrong people, but maybe I was a little misguided by a couple people or something. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, y'all, I can tell this is a mess. And what I seen in it was this. When me and my flame realized this was going into a mission for God, it was a God's book, it was a prophecy almost, we knew. And for me and her both to realize this, everybody should have realized it. We were dead in our flesh. No doubt about it. We were comfortable doing what we were doing. We liked it doing what we were doing and didn't mind it. So even her, even though she's still doing it, she know, like, yeah, to do this properly, you're gonna have to heal. So my advice to you is to heal one thing at a time and actually heal it and never go back to it. And you should start to see yourself get climax out of these situations. I keep hearing Harry. No, I'm telling y'all, bro, it's gonna keep going. I keep hearing somebody sacrifice, 2 people sacrificed $1 billion. 2 people sacrificed $1 billion. The billion something. The $1 billion kid or something. The billion, I don't know, something. But, so it's like, I don't know, y'all. Y'all been doing this so long, y'all ain't tired of it? I'm gonna tell you, bro. I think a lot of y'all got lonely issues. You know, I remember one supposed to came. She got pregnant, and then I think a friend of hers said, you know, don't do nothing crazy like have an abortion. I agree with that, but you still was doing stuff. You still was doing like reckless stuff during the pregnancy, not to your baby or to yourself, but in this situation or against me. You know, maybe you were trying to help, but when it's God's purpose, when it's God's prophecy, you know you can't take shortcuts and cheat. That's what the real issue is with this situation. I don't talk about these two. One thing I know about these two, first and foremost, we belong to God. Why are we attacking each other? 1, 2 is a gifted in the choking department. When you keep attacking the other chosen, like, what's wrong with you? You okay? You need to turn around and go the other way. It's like, you don't know no better, whoever you are. I know who you are, but I don't even know if you know who you are. So, it's like, if you are God's tool, why are you pleasing man? I remember saying something about a month or 2 ago. I said, it's funny because it seemed like let's say the 144,000 is here. It seemed like man realized, well, we can't kill them, but we can at least try to manipulate them to work for us. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like they're being re-navigated to do what they like. We want to control y'all if we can't kill y'all. And that right there throwing things. They're like, okay, if you let them do that, God gonna keep on making you go in this repetition situation. He gonna make you keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because you work for God. And like I said this years ago. I said 144,000 need their own table. First and foremost, they need to find out who the 144,000 is, and then get all these tools up, and they need to put them on their own table. Because obviously they're so powerful, can't nobody do nothing with them. So, that's what I say, like, Uh, it look like y'all got simple fear, bro. Y'all don't want to do it. You keep on making me do stuff. When God don't want to keep this going, you're like, you had your opportunity to do it. Like everybody try to make God stay in the sinning department. I mean, not like that, but God ain't no sinner and God ain't in the sinning department. But it's like you trying to make God chosen stay in this certain atmosphere, you know, and it's possessive at this point. It's possessive, you know, harassment, abuse, all that. And the window of time is about up. Like I said, my sister said her husband, she finna be, she thinking about, I can tell she is, and they was a great, they loved each other, really, they really loved each other. And my sister said the anniversary is coming up, she said 9 years. And he was like a daddy to me, so he was like, she said 9 years, it'd be 9 years. I seen him, the year, when I seen him, a year later he died. So that means I've been in this situation probably 8 years almost. That's how I know it's almost up. And I told y'all, I said, remember this, because the closer we get to 10 years, everything gonna start going bonkers. That's what's going on, man. So it's like some people have these things. I hope y'all climbing good. Keep climbing. But learn from your mistakes more. Anybody can climb, but it's almost pointless if you're gonna keep on falling. You know what I'm saying? Learn from your mistakes as you climb. You're gonna fall a few times, but try not to fall in the same department, and definitely try not to fall in the department that made you start off climbing in the beginning. You should have dropped that when you realized the energy level, like I did. Like whatever knocked me off, I left it, and I ain't dealt with it, and I ain't turned back to it in like 7 years, 6 or 7 years. I ain't looked back at it, and I'm always around it, always. I ain't even thought about it. I dropped it, you know. Now when it comes down to this, whatever this is, that's more confusion. That's more of confusion than anything, because it's like I'm a tool, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of tool I am, basically. And it ain't like, oh, well, we got him. So I don't need y'all saying, we got to influence him that this is what he need to do. That ain't what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about that. I'm trying to figure out, like, it's gifts with our forests and our gardens. So we need to know, like, with the women gardens and the male forests, we need to know how these gifts, how it work. We angels. We can't be with humans. You know, we know that part. Now we need to understand our males need to understand their forest, and the females need to understand their gardens, and they need to get with the right person or the right angel. Because now we know it's a lot of angels out here. And normally, if you're a real conduit, you know, then it's a good possibility you probably are angel, you know. But that's the only advice. I try to stay out of that department, y'all, because I'm not doing good at it. I'm by myself. Everybody else got support and help in that department. I got all the help I need. I got God, but I stay away from conversations about it, because I truly don't know what's going on. It's like the information I supposed to got, they gave it to my doppelganger. They gave it to the double. And she definitely ain't giving me nothing. And it's like, what can you do when they do that? You know what I'm saying? The gift was given to me to inherit the hat, but they don't want to give it over, you know. But, man, what can you do? God gonna have fun. I told God, have fun. Take his time, have fun, because I ain't in no hurry. I ain't got nobody waiting on me. I'm just chilling, elevating, and So gotta take your time, have fun. But that's the only advice I can give y'all. I'm telling y'all, this is a mission for God. And once you realize that, you're gonna have to clean up. What you thought you was okay might not just be okay. And you look at me and you might think and say I'm bored, but it's impossible to say that when you took my means of living. You took my security, you buried me in a box. So what you supposed to do? I think I'm pretty fine considering the fact. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody got a gift messing with paint. These tools got some unique abilities, bro. Y'all keep on attacking me though. It's like, just heal already. Once you heal, you're gonna realize, why am I attacking this guy? I'm supposed to do this too, regardless. Even if you make me fall off, we not getting nothing. It's like somebody telling y'all we ain't getting nothing. We're not getting nothing, trust me. I know, cause me and the Flame tried it that way. We started dying faster. Like, let's say she low vibration, okay, she wanted me to go low vibration. We tried it, and everything started falling apart fast. Like, we were finna live, we were finna be destined to live a very, very poverty life. I mean, physically in all the leagues. And so, we knew we just couldn't both fall off like that. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. And thankfully, we were smart enough to realize that quicker, fast, so we wouldn't continue down that road. That's the only advice like I said, I know one of y'all was supposed to come, and I know you was here, honey. But I ain't talking to you, you ain't listening. You actually swapped your darn network so I couldn't see you. You just blocked yourself totally from it, and then you went off and had babies. I mean, I had a baby, got pregnant. So, you know, it's like, what you doing? I'm telling you, I'm gonna say this one more time. 1712 when I say this. I'm gonna say this one more time. This one thing I used to see in the street when I was young, and it was one flaw. Good women used to do this all the time. They used to fail every single. I never seen them successfully get this done. And let's say this woman was finna marry somebody or finna get in a relationship with somebody, but she got a list of men she wanna deal with first. They'll always go down that path and never get off of it. I ain't saying you done that. I don't know what your reason was for, but I just want to put this out and let y'all know. And this don't mean they whores, nothing like that. It just means it's like a bachelor party that never ends. You went down now and you just can't get out of it now. You know, you're a wrecked car. You know, I ain't saying this about you. I'm just saying. And what I mean by that ain't gotta be sexually. That gotta be just stuck. I told y'all, when you deal with somebody, you're gonna be stuck with them for 5 years. I told y'all off top, you're gonna be stuck with that person for 5 years. Off top. So, you're gonna be stuck with that person for 5 years off top. So it's like y'all went down there and didn't realize that. But you do now. I don't even think some of y'all dealing with these people like that, but you're stuck for them many years. You see, you gotta hold it in the road in this situation. That's the best advice I could give you, though. You know, when it comes, I wouldn't know much about all that, cause I always mostly been alone. But I seen it growing up. Women had these plans to get married. Married probably gonna turn out good. But they got these list of people they want to deal with, and they never make it back off that road. They never get back off that road, and then they start attacking the person that they want to be with. You gotta work on that. And I hope I ain't offending nobody. I'm definitely not trying to offend nobody. But it's like, what else can you do? It's like, just think about it. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people, when God give you a gift, put it down, put everything else down. Ain't nothing more important than fighting for God's gift for you. Nothing. Don't just sit there and do God like that. If you ain't doing God's gift like that, you doing God like that. Don't be so cocky. Don't be so full of yourself. Don't do y'all selves like that, man. I hate it because y'all, somebody be sending it bad. And you better hurry up and get right, because they going to slaughter you. If this is who I think it is, somebody finna get whipped. Somebody finna get whipped real good. Somebody finna get whipped. You hear me? And you a person that normally don't get in no trouble. Somebody finna get whipped. Somebody finna get lashes after lashes. Lashes after lashes. So, I'm telling you, you better tighten up. If I think it's who I think it is. So, anyway, that's the only advice I can give y'all. I've been alone my whole life. It's hard for me to give advice in that department. But for the tools, y'all attacking each other. If you can just stop that, I guess you're good. But so far, the relationships that's supposed to occur, the partnerships that's supposed to come to manifest, it's like God already give you an opportunity to push your stuff back, but you're still doing stuff to hinder yourself. You gotta heal. You gotta be for real. Just be for real. You can't please everybody. You're not going to get married to God's gift with your friends. You going to be with somebody. You going to be married to somebody. Not you and your friends. It's like I keep getting hit for it because I don't know what's going on. I'm Hazel. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's doing what. Hey, if the words is going to the wrong person, well, swap it to the right person. I don't know. Shit, I've been stuck like that for a minute now, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my sister said what she said, 8 years, almost 8 years. If she's celebrating my brother's birthday, if she's celebrating their anniversary, 9 years, it'd be 9 years now. I've been in this situation stuff for 7 to 8 years. By myself, wholly by myself, completely by myself, with just God. So I don't know what y'all got going on out there. I've been healing. No sex partner, no none of that. I've been healing. That's the only advice I can give you, though. Good luck out there.